Hey, what's up everybody? It is Kellen here from Start Your Systems, and welcome back to Monster Energy Supercross 3, the official video game, where today we're going to do a little bit of compound gameplay action. I'm going to take you guys through this compound and kind of show you what everything is on this compound. For those of you that don't know, this compound that comes with the game is supposed to be modeled after the Corona test tracks in Corona, California. I think there's 8 different test tracks in this area that are real life test tracks. Like, these actually exist. They're Supercross test tracks. They exist in real life. And I'm going to take you through each of them and what team they actually are associated with, like who rides these different test tracks. A little backstory of this place and why it exists. It's actually owned by a construction company, this entire area. And that's why you'll see like construction equipment kind of strewn about on this rendition of it, because it's all construction area. But they lease out the different parts of the land so that, you know, people can have test tracks, and these factory teams all have their test tracks leased out up here. And then Milestone took it and basically made it, you know, like on steroids, I guess. I don't know, like they added a bunch of different elements to it that don't actually exist in real life. But you know, obviously to give it a little bit more flair. So let's take you to the first test track. It is over here. This is actually the Star test track, but I want to go to Yamaha first. There's 2 Yamaha test tracks over here on this side of the map. This is the official Yamaha test track, and it seems as though they have this modeled after sorry for that. They have it modeled after like mid 2019-ish test tracks. The test tracks obviously change pretty much every year, and they have, you know, a new layout and new tracks built essentially. But this entire map seems about mid 2019-ish, which probably seems about right, because that's when they probably would have been out here scanning all these tracks or what have you. But this is Yamaha that I'm riding on. Obviously I'm with Chad Reed on a Suzuki, but we have access to all 8 of these tracks, so we'll just pretend that Chad has the keys to every test track today, which for the most part he almost has in his career. It's ridden for basically every team except KTM, and when he rode for all these teams back in the day, KTM didn't even have a test track over here. Now they do, but kind of funny how that works. So yeah, this is Yamaha, pretty straightforward track. So this is where Aaron Plessinger, Justin Barsha, this is where they'd get their training done in for the most part. Obviously, I think both of them have different areas that they can go ride as well and test, but this is the official Yamaha test track for the Monster Energy factory Yamaha team. And this entire plot of land is kind of sublet or sub-owned, whatever you want to call it, by Yamaha Corp. So even the Star Racing guys in the 250 class, Ferrandis, Colt Nichols, Shane McElrath, who am I missing? Justin Cooper, Ty Masterpool, you know, those guys, they can come up here and usually test the factory Yamaha track as well. It sometimes depends if the 450 guys are up here. Usually they're told no, but sometimes they can. So sometimes you'll see them post videos of them riding this track. If they're not riding this track, they're instead riding this track over here, which is the Star test track. It's Yamaha 2, essentially, as it's known. It's kind of like this little triangular shape that they can build baseball stadium type tracks on. And again, this seems like it's from 2019-ish, mid-ish 2019, because the test track is different now than it was back then. And I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this track, because if you watch my first career mode video, you know that I've already played this track for the career mode videos. So this is going to be the one that I'd probably spend some of the least amount of time on. Just kind of a whoop section here. All of them have start gates, so you can have races with your friends and buddies and all that stuff. You guys can all join the compound and ride against each other. There's like treasure hunt and a couple other things that you can do online that you can do on this compound as well. But a pretty standard test track. And as I'm headed to the next test track, I want to talk about something with these test tracks that I don't like that Milestone decided to do. So this is Yamaha 2/Star Racing. And I'll show you what we're kind of headed towards now. So first of all, this little construction zone that's right in front of me here, right there, we can't actually go in it. Like if I tried to jump in it right now, it'd boot me out. But we can go to the right over here, and then kind of like to the front right area of me, diagonal, all those shipping containers we can go into. But I'll show you what I mean, that I can't. I'm pretty sure I can't jump down into this area. I wasn't before. Maybe they've opened it. Let's see. Oh, maybe it is open now. Okay. It definitely, oh wait, oh yeah, so I can get in here. Definitely wasn't open before. Interesting. Anyway, as I ride over to Honda, where I'm headed now, one thing I don't really love about these compound tracks is that Milestone had the opportunity here to make pristine, perfectly groomed tracks that would have played really well, and they didn't for some reason. I don't know why. They kind of, you'll see on the KTM and Husky test tracks that they really like oddly misshaped a lot of the jumps and stuff like that, which I don't really get. Doesn't make sense to me because these test tracks are usually quite well manicured and put together. So why they would decide to not do that, I don't really know. Anyway, this is Honda up here. So this is, if you saw Ken Roxon and Justin Brayton's Honda HRC intro video from the season, this is the test track it was done on. It wasn't done on this specific test track because they've changed it since. Here's a good example. If you watched any of Tim Geiser's practice coming into Monster Cup, this is the track he rode. This is the exact layout, etc. It's in the same location, obviously, as what the test track is now, but it's obviously changed a little bit. And yeah, this is Honda. This is Roxon. This is Brayton. This is Geico Honda as well. So Sexton, Craig. Who else am I missing on Geico Honda? Oh, the Lawrence brothers. Joe Shimoda. And one more guy. Can't think of his name. What did I? Oh, J-Mart. J-Mart also will ride up here on this Honda test track with the factory Honda guys. Since Honda only owns one track up here, they let the Geico guys pretty much ride whenever they are available to come ride up here as well. So it's kind of cool how that works out. And then Milestone decided on this particular test track to build a raised starting gate, as you can see by that wood paneling over there on the right-hand-ish side of my screen, like a wood drop-down gate. And as I mentioned in my career mode video, if you select to race 250 East in your career mode, that is the test race. This is the track that you do the test race on. So just a little kind of nuanced details there. But yeah, Honda. This is one of my more, like, my favorite test tracks in this game because it's very well built. It's actually fun and kind of realistically challenging, so that's cool. But let's go ahead and move on to one. I want to do like 2 laps on each track. And where we're headed now is what used to be Suzuki. So it would tie in nicely here with Chad. Except Suzuki sold it to Kawasaki and made K3. There is already a Kawasaki test track up here. People who live in California would know of K1, the Kawasaki test track just off of I-15 in Corona. Like you can see it. It's like in the middle of a construction yard basically. And it's right next to the freeway. You'll like basically, I drove by there the other day, saw Tomac spinning laps. So you know where K1 is. This is now K3. It used to be Suzuki. It's now called Kawasaki 3 Test Track, K3. Obviously the layout has probably changed. Here's some more what I'm talking about. Misshapen jumps is so weird. But yeah, Kawasaki bought it. As far as I know that they bought it, I haven't actually officially seen anything, but when I was at Husky the other day with my boss, Jason Wygant, we were talking to Wilson Anderson and all the Husky guys, and they said, yeah, that Suzuki sold this to Kawasaki, so now Kawasaki has a track up here too. Or 2 tracks up here, I should say. Kind of interesting news and notes. One of my least favorite test tracks here in this compound, though, because of the jumps being oddly shaped, the berms not really being very well built. The whoops are pretty well built. They kind of have a nice flow to them. And then this finish line jump is nice because it's one of the few ones that like looks like a real finish line jump and isn't just a couple mounds of dirt. I like this section right here because on a 450 you can triple out of this corner, and sometimes if you're going fast enough, triple again. But then over here it's just like, what were they doing? Like, I think it's supposed to be on, off, double, and then Supercross triple, but it's just so strangely built. I don't really get it there. And then this section, what is this? Like, you can quad, and then what, quad again? Definitely not what they're doing on the track in real life. So it's strange. It doesn't make sense why they would decide to build it that way. So this is K3. Let's jump down the hill and go to K2, which was Kawasaki's test track for the past several years right here. Wait, before I get crazy here, is this the right area or am I one too far over? Let me go up here and check. I think I'm right. Yeah, okay, I am. Double checking. Jump back down the hill. Whoa, easy turbo. So yes, this is K2. This is the Kawasaki test track that has been up here for a good while. Kawasaki has always had K1 by the freeway, but I think they probably got this test track 6-7 years ago, maybe. Could be wrong. Somewhere around there though, from where I've judged off of by seeing videos up here. And so yeah, this is this exact layout is probably one that Eli Tomac, Joey Savacci rode. But because it's K2 and not K1, which is the preferred Kawasaki test track, K1 obviously, this is usually where Pro Circuit Kawasaki would ride. They also have a test track at Glen Helen, so sometimes they ride there too, but they would have also ridden this track a decent clip as well. So this is Pro Circuit Kawasaki last year, which was Marchbanks, AC, Faulkner, and yeah, I'm just blanking on who it is because I'm too used to the guys this year now. But they would have ridden up here. This is K2. I don't know if you guys even care about any of this stuff, to be honest. Just kind of giving a geography lesson. Because I know for a fact that the game doesn't tell you this stuff. Like, it's not going to explicitly tell you which test track is supposed to go to what. Because in real life, the guys that own the test tracks would be like, why are we letting Chad Reed on a Suzuki in a video game ride our K2 test track? But figured it'd be kind of fun idea just to show you guys, geographically speaking, what these tracks are supposed to be. And that they actually are built the exact same way, I guess, like the same jumps and stuff like that as it was in real life this past year. Like they definitely did carbon copy it, so that's kind of cool. All right, moving on from there, we're now headed towards the KTM Husky side of the map, and we'll stop off here at Troy Lee Designs KTM test track first. This is this year it's Moreau and Hartraft and Derek Drake and Pierce Brown. But last year it was McElrath, Jordan Smith, Mitchell Falk, Sean Cantrell, etc. that were riding this test track. And yeah, I like this test track too. I'm not making it look very good right now, but this one is another one that I think is built just a touch better than the rest, just because the jump shapes are fairly normal. And thus you can kind of make some cool realistic rhythm sections out of them, which is always... It's always fun to me on, like, if you're going to have a test track, you want it to feel like the actual ones that are being ridden, I would say. And so this one, I think, does a pretty good job of that for the most part, of making it feel realistic, so I like that. Whoops are good, rhythm sections are pretty good. It does have this weird flat corner, which I can't honestly remember if that was the case or not. Not this one. Step on, off here. But then as you come around here, we're gonna triple up onto this table, step off, and then triple double into this corner. And you notice it's like flat. It's got like this kind of berm on the outside. I thought there was a berm there in real life, but I guess I could be wrong. Nice triple through there, table single, and kind of double through this little back section. Get a drive in the hoops, double into the corner, turn around, and triple out of the corner. Scrub it down, nicely done. And that's TLD KTM. All right, 2 test tracks left to go, and then I'll try to show you guys some other nuances about the compound. Let's jump down to Husky KTM Valley. All right, so little nuance things here about Husky and KTM, right? They actually bought a plot of land close to an airport here in Marietta, pretty close to where I live now, and built more test tracks for them to test at. And interestingly enough, it is walking distance from their factory. Their factory in Marietta, California, it is very, very close to their factory. So they can almost just ride their bikes down to the factory if they want to change suspension or something like that. Technically, it's illegal just to ride down in the street, but they're very close. They can almost walk there. They just get a quick ride in the van and they're at the shop. Unlike these test tracks where a lot of the Japanese manufacturers are stationed closer to downtown Los Angeles-ish area, or at least more on the coast, because they can get shipping containers there and stuff like that of parts and whatnot. And Corona is not near the coast. It is over an hour away, I would say, on a great day, even more than that on a bad day with traffic. So, interestingly enough, this track that I'm riding, which is the Husky test track, is still owned, or at least I should say, by Husky, but they are not up here as often as they used to be. They used to come up here, obviously, probably a couple times a week. Now with that test track so close to the factory office down in Murrieta, they don't come all the way up here that often. This is another 30-ish minute drive from there, and I know that a lot of the guys, Moseman, Jalik Swole, a couple of those other guys live in Murrieta, Wildemar, Lake Elsinore, which is closer to the KTM and Husky factory than it is to here in Corona. Again, geographic random knowledge stuff, not important, but Husky test track here. And then over here, just gonna say it, it's my least favorite test track. I don't think it's that well built. It's so weird and strange, but it's KTM. It's supposed to be KTM at least. And like, look at, what is that finish line jump landing? It's just like what is that? And then you come this way, it's on a straightaway out of this corner slash berm that doesn't exist. This is supposed to be a Dragon's Back. What is that? This is supposed to be a Supercross triple. Okay, not bad. But then this is supposed to be like double into a rhythm and then triple. I guess for the sake of it being technical, I like this rhythm section, but it's not very well built. The berms are funky. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be negative, but it just doesn't look realistic, I guess is the right word. Like, this looks way off. So, but this is supposed to be KTM test track right here. This is actually one of the few test tracks that I've actually been to in real life. All these test tracks are closed. Like, don't try to go up there and be like, hey, yeah, can I just go and hang out at the test track? Absolutely not. It is, first of all, it's trespassing because you're on this construction property that isn't even owned by these places. And second of all, they're usually testing stuff that they want to keep pretty private. So if you go up there, you're going to get an earful and kicked out pretty quickly. Occasionally the teams are cool with it. Most of the time they're not. So I'll just give that little caveat there. Like, even me being in the industry, we walked into Husky test track the other day, and if I wasn't with Jason Wygant, I absolutely would have been kicked out. But they initially were like, hey, this is private, blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, oh, okay, yeah, you can hang out, just no pictures. So, again, very private, very sensitive areas, so definitely stay away. Even if you hear them up there or not, just stay away. That's my advice. But it's just cool, I guess, to relate to what these places are. If I remember it, I'll put a link in the description to Google Maps of where these tracks are, so at least you can get a sense of where they are. Because if I keep saying they're in Corona off Temescal Canyon Road, you may not even know what I'm talking about for the most part, because most people don't live in California, obviously, that are probably watching these videos. I guess some of you guys are, but most aren't. So yeah, those are all the test tracks. Now, first, before I kind of explore the map, let's take a look at the national track in this game. Very kind of interesting, funky track. Kind of goes through all these construction areas down here. It's got this weird table section right here that is very kind of unrealistic to me, but I don't know, to each their own. I guess you can throw cool whips, so that's nice. And you kind of swing up here, and it looks like it's supposed to go to even more right, but no, you just get in 5th gear and stay on it all the way up this hill. Just ripping to the top. Now we're up by Yamaha. Sharp turn right before the barriers. And we got ourselves a little like kind of step up slash single thing to the top of the hill here. A little bit of U-turn action. Dropping down the hill. I like the national track. I think it's actually pretty fun. It's cool that they try to incorporate as much as the real terrain elements up here as possible. This national track, unlike the other test tracks, doesn't exist in real life. Definitely not. There's zero chance that most of the factories would want a track going between them that everybody, I would assume, could ride on. And second of all, it becomes a multi-liability case where you have this huge area of land being leased out by the construction company to multiple people at a time that they don't really have a grasp or hold on. And that's Lawsuit City, unfortunately, in this modern time. But it's cool that they decided to throw a national track in here, kind of make it a little bit fun, unique, different, etc. So we do a little swing back and forth action here and go here. Go up this wooden ramp thing area. This is the finish line jump in the actual track at the top of the hill. And just now we're going between the Kawasaki test tracks up in the middle here. And you're like, oh, we're going on this bridge? Nope, dropping down the hill. Sharp turn to the right, and then you just get on the gas, just click through the gears as much speed as possible. You're right by the starting gate here now. You end up on this this airfield type thing, I guess. And you're supposed to go over here. Yep. Moves back around, comes back under this little power line, and then you have like a weird kind of split section right here of rollers. Kind of interesting, unique, etc. Come through here, and that is it's a full lap right there, folks, of the compound, the MX track on the compound. So as I said, you can kind of go through these like shipping containers. Let's see if I can jump up on top or jump over them. That's nice. You can kind of come in through here. Ooh, I thought I was just wrecking myself. Whoopsie-daisies. This stuff, you probably, if you are like interested enough in this game to be watching this video, I would assume you would have seen Monster Energy Supercross's video on this part of the compound where they did a backflip through this little shipping container that's hanging up there. But you can also, if I can get this, I never seem to get this right. But let's see if I can this time. Nope, still messing it up. I'm all out of shape. They built like the funkiest run up to this little ramp, and all this ramp is here for, right, is for you to jump up here, which I still can't get. Oh, that was brutal. And then I end up on the outside. Sweet. All right, forget it. I'm done. No, I shouldn't say that. I should try. I should try to do what I want to do. Keep forgetting to shift, so that's not going to help my case. Oh, right in the barrel. Oh, okay. Never mind. Alright, so let's go back over here. I want to end up on top of these shipping containers so I could show off something at the end of this shipping container that's not really that exciting, but I don't know. I just feel like doing it. Do it for the kiddos. Golly, man. Why can't I jump up there? No, don't set me outside again. Ugh, stupid thing. Alright, last try. Really? That threw me off the bike? So normally the compound is set to cyclic weather. Cyclic? Whatever you want to call it. I just put it on daylight because I didn't want to sit here all day and wait for night to end so I could show off something with the game. Don't set me back outside. Okay. Alright, last try, and then I'm done. I'm giving up because this is bothering me. Seriously? There we go. Come on. Are you serious? Unbelievable. Well, let's see if I can kind of do a little bit of enduro riding here. Of course I would crash. Sweet. Oh my god, it is so stupid. This song. Oh, okay. Never mind. Whatever. Guess I can't show you that. All right, so other areas of the compound that you can explore. You can go over here. There's like a pit that you can... I think the game initially starts you out... Well, no, actually it doesn't start you out. They showed it as if it was going to start you out over here, and here's why. Because the camper's over here, which is normally where like your bike is set up on a stand and you can change your gear and stuff like that. Not in this game for some reason. But obviously they did show off this part where someone backflipped onto this container here. So yeah, you can backflip in this game. I'll get all the way out. Oh man, that was brutal. So a couple of cool areas to explore down here. Let me think. Oh, I know a couple areas I could still show you here before we wrap up the video. One thing is, oh man, I'm carrying speed. Holy cow, how did I land that? One thing that's kind of weird, and they may have patched this out since I found it. Not gonna swear to it being completely out of the game, but this bridge over here, it looks like something that would be kind of fun to ride on, right? And I think that this has collisions. Yeah, so the barrier there has collisions. However, if you ride up the other side, dang it, I'm of course gonna crash all the time over here. Let's just go the long way so that I can do this easier. You're gonna be like borderline going out of bounds on the map right here. See, it says you're approaching the limit. Don't reset me, don't reset me. No, come on, I wasn't even close. Maybe they patch it so you can't get up here anymore. Definitely could get up here before. Ooh, maybe they patched it so you can't, so I can't show you guys the little trickery secret that I found out about this bridge. Can't show it to you because they patched it out of the game. Look at that. Interesting stuff, Milestone. Sneaky, sneaky. Oh, maybe this is it. This is it right here. Oh, come on, dude. What? Before I could absolutely get behind that thing, and they must have patched it out of the game. Let me see if I can show you what the problem is, though, with this bridge, just by riding kind of close to it. I'm not at the edge of the... Stupid bumps in the hill, dude. Shift. Wow, they really did patch it out. I guess I can't show it to you. Let me try to launch into it from this side. Whoa, not like that. This is absolutely why they patched it out, I bet. I wasn't... Okay. So let me kind of go up the right-ish side here. Is this... So, there it is. You can go through it. That was the thing I was trying to show you. You can go through this bridge. It is not a tangible object. It is invisible. Or not invisible. What's it called? I don't know what the word I'm trying to think of right now. You get the gist. You can go right through the bridge. It's not an actual object. It's just a visual representation. It has no... can't think of the word again. It has no shapefile... I guess, whatever you call it. Anyway, you can go over this bridge, which is kind of cool. This bridge leads to nothing. You think it'd be like, oh, so we're gonna go free ride in the hills, question mark? But if I just like launch off it back here, then it'll reset me because we're at the compound limit. So the only thing you kind of can do with this bridge that's unique is just like carry a dump truck load of speed across it. Get going, what are we going, 70, 83, oh, 82, 3-ish miles per hour. And then just like enduro man your way across this, just as long as you can last in a straight line. There we go. Now we're down. So that's interesting. And then there's ramps kind of strewn about this place. You've already pretty likely seen a couple of the ones I've ran into. I just rode by one over here, so I'm gonna hit it on the way out. But this is a little bit of compound gameplay. Playing the compound, talking about it, talking about some of the nuanced areas of it that maybe you'll miss. There's definitely things I'll miss in this video, so I apologize I may not get to everything. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, had a good time watching, maybe learned something about the test tracks, whichever. But yeah, thanks for watching another video here on Start Your Systems. I'm going to send it off this ramp, and I hope to see you guys in all of our future videos on the channel. So long for now.